Hey everybody, this is LeeTDooD, and this is going to be my first cast ever. So a little bit of an introduction. I'm just a low Masters player, slowly working his way up to mid, maybe even high Masters, maybe even Grandmasters. Unlikely, but you never know, right? So what I sort of want this to be is almost like a guide in a way for lower league players to kind of see, my thought process and why I do certain things, and maybe they could improve a little bit off of that. But I'm not saying that I'm always right and I know everything about the game, because that is absolutely not the case. So for the higher league players, I kind of want maybe if you guys could to just sort of comment on my games, maybe saying, "Oh, LeeTDooD, you should have hit this timing attack. You missed the window," or something like, I don't know. So anything you could say, maybe constructive criticism. I don't want to hear, all these negative things, because who likes negative things? Really, come on. So what I also want viewers to do, hopefully, is to submit replays to me. And I want to cast these blind, so I don't want to even watch these replays. I'm just going to cast them without even watching them. So I have no idea what kind of game it's going to be. And I think that could be kind of funny, kind of interesting. No idea how that'll turn out, so I guess we'll see. Also, my graphics are questionable at best, so I apologize in advance for that. I'm also using free software to cast these games, so sorry about that. Unless people want to give me money to buy a new computer and or buy a program, well, probably buy the program first, and do that, because I would really like that. But anyway, we'll get into the game here. So this is a tournament game that I recently played, and like I said, I don't want to just cast games of myself. I want to cast games of other people. Sometimes do games of myself. But anyway, this is a tournament game that I played. I am the orange Zerg LeeTDooD here, and this is the blue Protoss Tempest, and this was in a tournament, the New England Stracraft 2 League 2 Season 2 Qualifier 2. I don't know. There's a lot of 2s in there that are happening. So if we go into the unit production tab here, as you can see, he's coming out on 9, not placing his pylon over here, so you can see he's probably going for the Forge Fast Expand, which is very common in ZVP. And myself down here just droning up a little bit, and I like to do in ZVP anyway the Spanishiwa build, which involves droning up really hard, getting fast expand, and getting spine crawlers, and you can basically negate a 4-gate, and it kind of forces the Protoss player to play a more macro game, which I am more comfortable with, even though I am originally a Warcraft 3 player, so I do think my micro is better than my macro, but that might not even be true. So I'm gonna refrain from making claims like that from now on anyway. So as you can see, I'm sending out 2 drones here now. Why I like to do this is because I see, a lot of times if a probe's here ahead of time, he can, block it, maybe get a pylon down. So I usually like to have one guy attack the probe and one guy try to put down the hatchery there. But if the probe isn't there, I just send out the other one to scout. And as you can see, Tempest is about to scout me, and he sees this now. I like to place an Overlord over here as well. The biggest reason is because, generally, especially on a map like this, the Forge Fast Expand is very common. If he decides to save up minerals, which as you can see he's doing, what you need to do anyway for a Nexus, you can plant a bunch of pylons here, 4, I think is the number, and you can block it off and then place cannons here, which will, you can't pull any drones whatsoever. And then you're forced to basically cancel that hatchery, which is just minerals wasted. So as you can see, he decided not to go that route, whatever you want to say. And he went with the Nexus, but I don't know about that until just now. And as you can see, I am being harassed terribly by this probe. This one drone is just getting beaten up by the laser beam, whatever comes out of it, out of the probe there. Now, I have an interesting thing here, because with this, look at me pulling my drones like an idiot. That's bad. You don't want to do that. Maybe just send 1 or 2 guys to, kind of clear out that probe, but you don't need, pull all your drones like that. I was just trying to get the surround because he was annoying me. But in the Spanishiwa build, you never ever want to get your gas that early. You want to drone up hard and get all your 4 gases around, 40 to 44 supply, you know, after you're sure with a couple spine crawls that you're not going to get attacked. But as you can see here, I'm doing something very unorthodox, and I am getting a proxy hatchery. And as you can see from Tempest's vision, he has no idea. You know, he canceled right there, but what I was going to say is he saw my drone, but he must have lost track of it. He probably thought that I left his base. You know, why would you ever be expecting a proxy hatchery in any case? So we'll go back to seeing the entire game. And at this point, you know, I'm pretty much all in a way. I'm going to stop producing harvesters very, very shortly so I can save up minerals. And my plan is to flood zerglings in here and also produce roaches out of here. So you can see I'm getting my roach warrens just about to complete. So that way, if he does happen to pull this zealot along with, you know, sentries or stalkers or whatever, other zealots, whatever he decides to make to combat the roaches that come out of here, I can flood those zerglings in. Smartly, Tempest decided to put he put a probe at the Zelnaga watchtower, and he's seeing these zerglings start to flood in. So that's a big warning flag to Tempest. He's probably thinking, you know, a baneling bust is coming, especially since he saw, you know, that gas instead of me playing the Spenny Short build, because that's what I did basically all day. Every ZVP I played, I went Spenny Short build, probably besides this one. So he's probably worried about the baneling bust coming, so he decides to, obviously you get a sentry, you know, block anything, and also get some more cannons for extra defense. But that's going to prove to be a very bad investment because I am in your base, and no idea still. The creep spread is just absolutely not in his vision. So I am making a few roaches and getting lings outside of his base in case he decides to chase these roaches when they do come out. So at 4 roaches, I decide that it's time to attack. And I leave my queen there so I can keep injecting larvae. That way I can just produce tons of roaches. You can see he starts pulling his probes here. But instead of bringing them all here, he decides to get a surround on me and attack the roaches. Now that's not a good trade at all because he's literally losing so many miners. You see, the harvester count is just declining so fast. And he's just, I'm trying to take down these sentries, but he's just not doing the damage he needs to the roaches, especially since I have so many more coming. In my opinion, he would have been much better off, you know, force fielding this off, you know, after the probes get in, building some cannons, getting some more gateways down, and trying to keep these roaches out as long as possible and let me take out his main. But instead, he sacrifices all his probes. He doesn't have any cover. You know, I'm trying to get out of range of these cannons, still flooding in zerglings, as you can see on the mini map down here. And I'm just decimating these probes. The harvester count is so low. It's all in by me. Did work. It was pretty cheesy, you know, but that's the way she goes sometimes, you know. I ain't mad at you, Tempest. I'm sure, hopefully you're not too mad at me. So, anyway, this was my first cast ever. Definitely comment on it and let me know how I did, how I didn't do. It doesn't make sense, but don't worry about it. Just let me know. Submit some replays. My email is LeeTDooD@gmail.com. I will also post that in the description. So, definitely feel free to subscribe. That would be kind of cool. And I'm out for now. Thanks for watching.